time like it's a job interview. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know who we are. This is the Windy City Breeze. I am your boy, P Kid. I'm in the building with my two guys
Yes,
right now,
sir.
man. Stefan the Don, who's you all got to see on the ones and twos yesterday, giving y'all that hot flame on the live call. My man JC in the orange room right now. We're gonna call that man the Oval Office of Bear Statistics right there. That's what we gonna do with that one because my man is out there killing it though, man. What's good with everybody in the chat? If you are seeing this, I see some people already in there. My man came in with a paragraph already. Michael was ready for this conversation. Um, if you all are here, you notice Pat's not here. My man's taking a well-deserved vacation, so you all wish him a happy trip, safe flight, all those things. GG's in the chat. Y'all know what to do. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it right now. Topic of the day.
Let's do it.
Will the Chicago Bears be able to get Montez Sweat signed sooner than later? Obviously, this is one of the biggest, biggest news for the Bears. We thought we was going to have a quiet trade deadline. Poe said, "Hold my beer," and here we are. I think you don't make this trade unless you do have something already in the works. What say ye in the chat? Who wants to jump at this first?
Yeah, I'm a go ahead and I'm gonna talk about this first. So my thing is, I mean, it's like we said when they first got him, like you don't make the trade unless you're thinking about signing him to a long term extension.
Mhm.
Which I mean, I like the idea of a Montez Sweat, Yannick Ngakwe, Yannick Ngakwe pass rush because now all Post has to do, like I said, you're looking at both of those pretty much. I feel like are going to be top 5 picks. So you can probably go get a Brock Bowers or somebody to fill in that defensive tackle gap that you're looking for, because I know that they also gave an extension of Billings,
I like
but
that angle.
in terms of the extension, it's a plus, but I mean in the back of I feel like Montez Sweat's mind as well. There's also the option of, hey, we are 2-6, like they are 2-6. So if they're losing and I ball out, I might have to look elsewhere. Just being realistic about the situation, but I like it. It's a you re-sign them now. You can plug in some other holes on that defense, but it's a plus. I,
Yeah.
I I like them trying to get him extended because then it
Absolutely. You
shores
know,
up
the
the
interesting
defense.
thing is, I actually like how Post has structured a couple of things. If you've listened online, it's a bunch of people who love the move. It's a ton of people who actually hate the move. They're actually calling for Post's job for some odd reason, which is weird to me. It's super weird. I don't get it. Post has already signed some people here. Everyone said, "Well, what happens to the man Evans?" So, like, some of those people on a 1 year deal.
Mm.
Some of them may or may not be back.
Now Tremaine Edmonds is on a long term deal.
Uh, yeah, I'm just saying some of the names
Oh
they throw
yeah,
out
yeah,
there. They said,
yeah. I
what
got
happens
you.
to
I
this
got
person,
you. I
stuff
got
like that. Some of these people that we've signed on a 1 year deal. I know we extended Billings today, so that
Hmm.
was actually good,
2 year
and
deal.
things of that nature. But like overall, like the way Post has done it, you need this type of pressure. We're not getting it. The man has 6.5 sacks. The defense has 10. You can say all you want about, oh, well, look at the system he comes from, and stuff like that. All that happens in time. But if you don't even have people who you feel have the ability to have that type of impact, it doesn't even matter. JC, I don't want to skip you, man. You had some thoughts and some stats. Let's roll into it, baby.
I got numbers for days, man. First of all, no, I agree with everything that was said because I think this is something that needs to get done. I think Montez Sweat needs to obviously stay here for this trade to be a success. You gave up a second round pick for this guy, so you should not be trying to even come close to letting the man walk. I believe there was talks where maybe his agent and pros are already in discussions, but we'll see what happens with that. I know Montez kind of said, well, I want to kind of keep the window open and doors open, but hey, you better make sure you close that door because if you allow him to leave, like I said the other day, then Pose is a fool because you gave up future draft stock for this guy. Now, some of the numbers you mentioned it a little bit. Montez coming in with 6.5 sacks. The defensive line, the entire Chicago Bears defensive line has 6.5 sacks for the entire season. So I
GG.
mean, let's be real.
GG.
That's piss poor. Some of the other stats. 6.5 sacks, like I said, would be first on this team. 10.6 win percentage and rush rate is first on this team. And I'm just going off the dome because I tried to look it up. 78.6 PFF grade, that would be first on the team. Pressures for quarterback hits, rather, for, and I think 47 pressures would be first on the team. So you culminate, you put all that together. Basically, what we're saying is that you keep this guy here. You have 110 plus million dollars to work with for the next off season. You need to do what you have to do to pay this guy whatever it is that he needs, that he's comfortable with, him and his agent, so that he can remain a Bear.
And this is one of those situations where, again, I need some people to stop doing this. It ain't your money, dog. A lot of people look at this and they be like, "How's he doesn't deserve this, that, and the other?" Dog, this ain't your money.
Yeah.
Let
Not
the
not your
Bears go
pocket
out.
watching.
Yeah, like let the Bears go out there and let Post cook and be the GM. Like, let him worry about that. But the whole thing is the player worth? Is the player worth potentially setting the market for? Maybe. Like, you could make an argument for it, whatever the case is, right? If you're even in the realm of possibility with that, shut up and let the GM cook. Like, I've seen some stuff today where people were like, "Well, how are we going to do all this?" Yo, it's not your bread, baby. It's like, don't worry about that. Let them. We need this type of talent. If Poles goes out here, gets this type of talent in here, and then does nothing with it, I don't care about the second round pick. You want to know why? Because I don't think there's a second round pick that does what Montez Sweat does right now. I just don't. And if you do draft that person, the same things that can happen with Montez Sweat can happen to that second round pick. What do I mean? Injuries. You can't predict an injury. Like, you can only go by what's there. If the injury history isn't there, the physical was clean, you can only go with what you have and take and move forward. It's a risk. It's a risk in everything you do. You know what the biggest risk is if you just use that draft pick to draft someone? You have someone with no professional experience who you also are taking a risk on injury wise, who now has to have this learning curve, and you are now risking them not being able to do what you need them to do on the field at a reasonable rate with how else you're trying to evaluate everything. Guess what? Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and use the second round pick to put me in a position to evaluate this player in my system and then pay him what his agent is asking for, because guess what? He's absolutely worth the money. Based off what you get paid off what you've done. You can't control what else is going to happen. You get paid off what you've done. And are we disagreeing that he's done it?
He's been doing it.
He done it. Wait a minute.
He's been doing it.
Hey,
Keep it moving. Like, people would be tripping with that, bro. It'd be getting me.
And the thing about it is, I mean, it's like I said before, right? Like, now you talking about, you got a D line of, and my D line is starting with Yannick and Montez. And I can just I can take those 2 top 5 picks, and then I can go get a D tackle, or we can go shore up the offensive line.
Oh yeah,
like, if I can go get a Joe Alt, put him next to Darnell Wright. Now you basically just killed 2 birds with 1 stone. I mean, the offense is still there. You really ain't spent no money. It's like, what are we talking about? So, and the other thing about it too, kid, just to add on to what you were saying, I think the take from some people is kind of dumb, because he wouldn't have made the trade unless he thought about those things that you was just talking about. Like,
so like he just gonna give up the second round pick for this 8-game whatever rental.
Hey, he better not be renting them.
He give up the pick. He give up the pick, and they'd be like, "Okay, so where y'all finna go?" Oh, I don't know. I didn't get this part.
Like, he makes this trade and can't sign Montez to anything. Guess what's gonna happen? I will personally help him pack his bag.
That man will be ran out of Chicago.
He got to pack his bag. But I mean, it's like I said, at the beginning of the take when you first asked, like, the thing that we also have to think about is, like, yo, they are 2-6. So it's like, I mean, even if he is keeping the options open, I mean, that's just something that Montez got to think about as well. But I mean, if we just talking about the extension, you have to get the deal done, because now, like I said, this helps 2 of the 3 people that's trying to keep their job. Eberflus is trying to keep his job, so Poles is basically saying, "Yo, I'm getting you what you need," and Jaylon is trying to stay here. So, hey, you was talking about that pressure. If you need that pressure to go out there and get them picks, Hey, I done gave you everything you asked for. If you cannot give me what I'm asking for, thanks for playing the work version of our game.
Yeah. Hey,
JC, what you got?
to your point, PK earlier, second round pick, you're not going to find somebody of Montez Sweat caliber, and even in the first round. So I got three names for you that I looked up, and these guys are nice. Supposedly they're going to go in the first round, maybe high first round picks. But Jared Verse from Florida State, he's been talked about early on in the college year. He was talked about as a top 5 pick. His name's kind of gone down in value, but he's still going to be in the first round. Then you got Dallas Turner, who was an edge from Alabama. He's decent, but he's like mid-round, first round. And then you got Latu from UCLA. He's been killing it, got like 20 sacks in 21 games. But he's not like the size and type that he's like a speed rusher. He's kind of like what Leonard Floyd was, you know. So I say all that to say, even in the first round, you're not going to get a guy that is exactly like what we have in Montez Sweat. And then you have to figure out, okay, well, will that translate to the next level in player development? And then give them time to, go through the experiences of the NFL and then for them to break out. So all that put together, we got to keep Montez here, and we have the means to do that. So, that's the hope.
I also want to sit there and get into this one. This is actually a question to those in the chat because I see some people with some interesting takes. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Again, if you are here, I know this is probably it's football, Thursday night football on top of NBA, something like so. If you were here rocking with us, I appreciate it because if I had to sit there and make the choice, I'd probably think about it too. But you are here, so we appreciate it anyway. But
the game didn't start yet. I don't think.
I was about to say I got to check my fantasy lineup. You just reminded me.
Man, my fantasy lineup probably is trash though. I just want people to know in my fantasy league, people said I was extreme hot garbage, but I seem to be tied with the same people who said I was extreme hot garbage. Just want to throw that out there.
Hey, I'm third right now, so I'm chilling.
That's good, but I'm coming. I'm making a comeback. Somebody was he's on a trip right now, but he said, "Oh yeah, your team is trash, but we got the same record."
Dang, Pat.
Yeah, so just throw that out there.
That's crazy. That's fired from far away.
Just throw that out there.
I do regret making that Joe Burrow pickup though. I'm not gonna lie, because he looking nice right now.
No, man.
And I tried to give you Joey B. Like I was about to trade you Joey B.
Hey, if I would have completed that deal, hey, I'm not gonna lie, Muggs would have been sick. I should have did that.
That's on you. But guess what?
He was right. That's on me. That's on me.
Trade deadline over, baby. Anyway, moving on. I want to say this because this is a question that comes in now. What happens with Jaylon Johnson? That's going to be one of the biggest questions, and the option of franchising came up. There was actually something I was going to throw out as an auxiliary question. And I don't know what the rule is on if you can franchise a newly traded player. Y'all have to correct me.
That I'm not sure of. Yeah, I can look that up, but
I don't know if that's possible. But I know you can definitely franchise Jaylon Johnson. He's been here, right? Would it even be worth considering?
Would
you franchise tag?
Because I think the franchise tag is what, 16?
I think it might be 18.
It's right around where he deserves to.
I'm cool.
Get. Right around where he deserves.
I'm. You know what? Nah, I'm gonna take it back. You got 10 games. You got 10 games to show me. Yeah. You got 10 games to show me. Cause I can't listen. I get it. You're the locker room guy. Everybody having you around. But this is a results-based business. And I understand that you got the pass breakup numbers. But I mean, there's other people that you got to pay. They still got to pay DJ Moore. You might, I don't know, out of realm of possibility, pay Justin. You can go out. Somebody literally just said it. You can tag Sweat. So
no, they need to pay him. They need to pay him.
There's Sweat comes in with a resume that shows you like, hey, pay me. I'm sorry. I get it. I understand that, but I'm just saying. So I mean, there's other people on the team, obviously, that you got to pay. 18 on the franchise tag for 3 picks. I mean, I get the pass breakup numbers are there. I get your leader in the locker room, but this is a results-based business. You gotta show me something. Now, but is it fair to actually take that approach with a player when you know you have not given them the proper infrastructure to give you that results? I say that because the same logic that we're using, and it's not to come at you. This is a widely, you know what I'm saying? But that same logic you're using to say, hey, this is why you shouldn't pay Jaylon Johnson is the same logic you can use to say why you shouldn't keep Justin Fields. This is a result
True.
based business, and Justin hasn't given you those results. However, you can
You
say,
gave him
well,
the
the line wasn't
infrastructure.
good, and this,
You
that,
gave
and
him
the
Yeah.
the
other.
infrastructure though.
You know,
Well, I'll
so
tell you
that
this. I do like what Deluge said in the chat. He says if you tag someone, you're not helping your contract negotiations. I do feel like that's the back end result of sometimes tagging somebody that clearly said, "Hey,
Mhm.
we're not going to talk about contract negotiations. I'm gonna wait until free agency at the end of the season to do what I got to do and see where my value is then." So if you tag Jaylon Johnson, does that still speak to are you going to get a long term contract done? When it's time for him to really leave because he's fed up with the fact that you had to kind of lock him up or force him to stay here.
I've always looked at franchise tag a little differently when it comes to, like, it's a situational thing. Like when organizations use it as a way to kind of handcuff a player and they move in bad faith, and we've seen those situations. I think some people even say, that's probably what happened in New York in some cases. Like when you have that, you feel a little different about that.
Mm-hmm.
But in this situation, I think this is an opportunity for the player to still get somewhat of market and have another year while making a considerable salary to actually show what's happening with it. So it's like a I don't want to say profit. That's not the right word to say, but it's almost like a year trial. Like
What's good,
realistically,
Baki?
I'm putting you in a situation to show me, to give you the opportunity to show me what you're worth, and we go from there. I think teams that use it appropriately, it's not an issue. I think, and the Bears may be in that situation. I think teams that
Mm-hmm.
use it to like really cheat their star player is a totally different thing. And so I get some of the narratives around it. I don't
Mhm.
think this is that situation though. Like
So,
I think they're actually moving in good faith if
mm,
they franchise tag him under if they have an understanding, but not like what was that famous story? Bill Belichick franchise tagged a player so he couldn't go anywhere. What was that? It was a while ago, but I remember that interview. I don't
Mm.
know if you all know what I'm talking about, but he was like, he got real upset. He did it on like what it wasn't the pivot, it was the I Am Athlete. He talked about that. God, what was his name? But I think you get what I'm saying. Like some organizations can use that as a way to really do a player dirty. I don't think this is a
mhm.
situation because I think we all
You don't think
agree
it's that?
Jaylon Johnson getting 18 million or 16 million will probably be in his would be in our best interest and still give him a healthy salary compared to what he's worth. What would you all say about that?
Well, the thing about that is, right, you can franchise tag somebody twice. So,
Now that's in bad
it's
faith if you do that the same
even to
way.
your point, even to your point, and I'm gonna use your favorite QB, Kirk Cobain. Did you say
Kirko
Washington?
Bangs, baby.
Washington, Fra- Washington basically franchise tagged him twice, and he basically said, "Okay, I'm gonna go out and bet on myself." And he made I think it was like 90 mil in 2 years. It was like something crazy. But he went out and bought and then went to Minnesota and got his money. But I mean, like,
Yeah, his agent structured that too.
you got a point. If you're using it the right way, then I can see them saying, "Look, I'm gonna give you 10 games now, and probably maybe we'll see if the numbers are right. Then I'll tag you because I really do think they want to keep him around for locker room purposes. If nothing else, because he's one of the leaders. Because you know that you have Roquan and Robert Quinn were both gone. So I do think that they want to keep him around for that aspect. But I mean, it's a result. It's a results based business. So they do gotta. He's got to show them something. But I don't think that they're trying to. I don't think they're trying to, do him dirty or anything like that. I think they do want him in the building.
Yep, I'm with you. I'm with you. You know what? That kind of segues into a couple of things because I see a couple people in the chat pretty much in agreement. There's ways that you can kind of hurt a player in doing that, but a lot of us still don't know what's going on. We have some good things happening. We have some bad things happening as well. So I thought this was funny. I had to bring it up. What is going on between the sheets of Hallis Hall? Because Jesus,
In the
it's the
dark.
Nah, nah,
God.
bro.
man. Every
What
time I think we're
is
moving in
going
the right
on
direction,
between the sheets and mine?
every time I think we're moving in the right direction, somebody gets fired, somebody gets let
Bro.
go, or something like that. And I'm just curious. I want to get your thoughts on it. What the heck happened?
Well, I mean, they claimed that this time it was behavioral issues, and I believe this was the second time that it happened with. Is it David Walker? I know he got a normal name, David Walker,
He got
right?
a normal name.
I think so.
No, one of those
I
normal
think so.
black names,
I look at the jersey,
David
yeah,
Walker. But
yeah, yeah.
no, I think this was like the second offense or whatever he did. But they're not going into detail. They're basically saying it was some behavioral thing where HR had to get involved. Now they gave more detail to what was going on with him versus Alan Williams. Alan Williams claimed it was health and family. I'm not going to get into that because, of course, that's still speculation. But I don't know. But yeah, I think there's clearly a culture issue. They're trying to hide it. Eberflus said and came on and said that the culture is as strong as ever in the building. He's going to give the coach speak and say what he needs to say to kind of cover things up and move forward. But we've seen it from the start of this season. The Bears organization is in a state of chaos. If it's not one thing, it's another. Whether it be the coaching, whether it be the attitude of the players, whether it be Chase Claypool calling out people, whether it be Justin Fields saying y'all doing too much and I'm in my own head. Like it's just one thing after another. And so, hey man, somebody got some pictures on somebody in there. I don't know what's going on.
Vela's got him. Why you think he's on the team?
Vela's got
why
something
is he
on
still here?
somebody,
No, bro. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Hey, we firing everybody but the people keeping him around. That's the problem.
But I mean, honestly though, I mean, when this news came about, honestly, bro, I'm just looking at this like, okay, yo, the Bears just got Montez Sweat, and yet again, going into Saints week, you dealing with another distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been distraction on top of distraction on top of distraction, and that just shows, yo, you don't got your locker room in order. So like you supposed to be the leader of the guys, and it's like nobody really knows what's going on right now. Like it's just pure speculation, as we like to say. It's provocative. It gets the people going. Like it's literally just pure speculation right now.
I like that.
And yo, I don't get it, man. Hopefully they can come out and get a dub. Off of this, because it's been a week with so many distractions. But I don't know, man, because all this is telling me right now is that Flus don't got the locker room in order.
I'm with that.
I feel like this locker room is worse than the Raiders locker room right now.
I don't know about that one, but I like what they did there. They fired everybody. Yeah, hey, listen, they said
hey, listen. He was like, hey, forget the rest of the season. Y'all need to go now,
bro. They fired the coach, the GM, told Jimmy G, sit your punk behind down. Like all in one fell swoop. I don't think I've ever seen that happen so quickly. I think it normally happens like week by week. You know what I'm saying? This person gets let go, that person gets oh no, now you benched. No, they said all in one fell swoop. Jimmy G. Crash. Hit the Bucks, my boy. They got that's an interesting topic. But I want to get to this real quick. Courtney Cronin with ESPN. She also is a guest on the Chicago Bears podcast with your boy Pat the Designer. Y'all know what that is. Y'all go check that out and support that during the day as well. Next week would be a lot to talk about. But she wrote today. No, this was yesterday, excuse me, about this David Walker being fired. I know that you all kind of touched on this one, but the one thing that she said is a quote from Eberflus. He said the culture in the building is outstanding. You did mention that. And we are working, we care about each other. We're working diligently to get this thing turned. We're 2-2 in our last 4. One game was real close. We had a chance at that one. We really feel like we're turning the corner here and there, and we're excited about this week. Let's go back down to the actual quote. Yeah, he gives you a lot of coach speech. Like he's a different version of Matt
turning
Nagy.
a corner.
Here's the exact quote I wanted to get to. He said, Eberflus added that Walker's dismissal was disappointing from my vantage point. We have a standard to uphold. When that standard is not met, we act accordingly, and that's what we did today.
What standard? What standard?
PK gotta compose himself.
Fam,
bro,
this is what I.
And then real quick, is it just me? Have we heard the phrase? This ain't the first time we heard the phrase. We turning the corner this year.
How many corners is there,
bro? This gotta be about the 5th time we done heard him say we turning the corner.
The part that's infuriating for me is I understand that you need to take decisive action to set a culture and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
But there are so many other areas. Now, here's the thing. I don't know how he was. Maybe he was being Chase Claypool on the coaching staff. I don't know. Like he could have been that frustrated with what was going on there and going off, and rightfully so. But I will say this, based off things I've seen in the chat, things I've actually read, things I know, some things that Pat has talked about. What's the one thing that we didn't have a problem with on this team?
Running
The
the
one
ball.
area we didn't have a lot of problems with.
You talking about running the ball?
Our run game.
Yeah.
Our run game when we actually did
now you fired a running back coach though.
When we were doing it well, it worked. When the line was performing, it worked. Like our run game kept us in games.
Yeah.
Why are you messing with that? Like, find something else to do. Find something else to adjust. You adjusting stuff in areas that you don't need to be adjusted, in my opinion. Now, again, if he out there wild, you got to do what you got to do.
I was gonna say if he gotta go, he gotta go.
If we gotta go, we gotta go.
Yeah,
but we all know what that means. That
Yeah.
don't mean, hey, he disagrees with my concept. We don't see eye to eye on this. Let me fire him so we can get some buy-in. No, you might need to adjust. And maybe the decisive action is potentially, and I've seen Baki say this, maybe Luke Getsy has to come to realize that, hey, sometimes my screen pass idea just sucks. And that I need to trust the fact that my running coach has my running. And like, maybe that's that. It's like, I don't get it. But again, we would never really know what's happening. I will say this, and as this is my question to you all. This is the second firing we've had, or not firing. I mean, Alan Williams was technically he dismissed himself, kind of, however you want to say it.
He just evaporated.
Do you now feel like this is all you need to get Eberflus the heck up out of here?
Okay, if there's something else that happens,
go, JC.
Yeah, if there's something else that happens, I'm looking solely at Eberflus because this is the guy that picked those guys, and he's trying to cover it over, like I said, by saying, "Hey, this is not allowed. This is unacceptable." Obviously he's there's a certain point where you got to watch your own back, and so I think that's what he's doing now. But if this continues over and over and over again during this season, then you have to focus on the person that is bringing these guys in the building. Some of these guys came with him from Indianapolis, so you can only look at Eberflus as the problem. Like, where else are we going to look at? I can't look at polls. I'm looking at the coach. The coach made these decisions, and so eventually, I mean, I already wanted him on the hot seat anyway, but this is going to kind of solidify that. He needs to get out the building if that's the case.
I think what this is doing, it could either be two things. He could either save his job by coaching his butt off with his defense, or he's just setting this up to make the head coaching job next season look more attractive, because now it's like, okay, we got Justin Fields, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we got Montez Sweat, Yannick Ngakoue, Tremaine Edmonds, Jaylon Johnson. It's going to be, even if he stays or gets let go, this is going to be one of the more attractive spots, I think, coaching wise, for any of those coaches that's out there trying to get a job, i.e. a Ben Johnson or a Jim Harbaugh. Which I think that's actually going to wind up happening, because the allegations on that is wild.
The funny thing about it is, I know I asked about Eberflus, and I saw this comment in there, and Michael's been in there dropping some gems. I appreciate him, as it with everybody, all the P1s, Baki, and everybody out there. I appreciate you all supporting. Like, share, y'all know what to do. The one thing I will say is, I'm really big on this. You hire slow, fire fast. And the reason you do that is because realistically, you need to evaluate appropriately who's really there and helping you evaluate some of these things and bring them in. And, but you fire fast, because if it's a cancer to your situation, your reputation is on the hook.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, it seems as if your decision making, if you were responsible for these particular people being there, and again, I say if, because apparently the Chicago Bears do things butt backwards. Like, realistically, we got a GM who never picked his coach.
Bulls
we got a consultant who's always there saying, "Hey, hire this guy." And behind the scenes, like, I don't know how true that is in this case. I know Bill Polian's name gets thrown out there a lot. I know the Colts and Bears have history. If you go back and look at, I mean, the Colts still have a facility in Chicago. If you didn't know, like that's some history for you. They really do. But all that being said, like realistically, if Pose is responsible for these, not Pose, but Eberflus is responsible for these individuals, it shows me that your decision making ain't all that great, and that in itself, especially being in year 2, is enough reason for me to get you up out of here. Now, here's my concern, because I've seen this happen. A head coach gets fired, but a offensive coordinator doesn't. I want the coordinator gone first.
Nah, I think he getting up out of here too.
I want the coordinator gone first for one reason alone. I don't think, and I've gone back and looked at the tape just so I can like really have an educated take on this. I really don't understand Luke Getsy's scheme with Fields at times.
Nobody does, bro.
I don't get it.
Nobody does.
It's not set up for a player like Fields.
It don't make sense.
Yeah.
At times. Now I know we can have all these excuses and stuff like that, but I'm seeing other coordinators work within the constraints or confines or talents or whatever of their quarterback and not force the quarterback to do what they think is working.
So are you saying Luke Getsy is a Nagy 2.0?
Yeah, listen, I've been one of those people who was like, hey, if Tyson is more decisive and stuff like that, he should actually, I'm a Bears fan before I'm actually tied to any particular player. But there's no rhyme and reason. Like what Getsy is a perfect coordinator for Tyson Bagent. He is. Like if you look at it, he really is. That don't fit Justin Fields though. And I know this, I'm not backtracking on my take. I do believe that there's some things that Bagent does that he is either on par or even excels at than Justin, and that shouldn't even be the case. That's a Justin problem. Justin has to look at that, and I hope that if he gets the opportunity to showcase that again, this time on the sideline, he knows, all right, I have to be better at these things because this shouldn't even be a conversation. My backup the city shouldn't be able to say my backup does this better than me. And I have 3 years in, he doesn't. That should never be the case. I don't care who you are, whatever it is. If I'm a 3-4 year pro taking professional snaps in these, if I'm a pro player, this rookie shouldn't be close to me. I don't care what it is. Now, some people may disagree with that. I don't freaking care. I don't think it should be a conversation. That's a Justin problem. But what isn't a Justin problem is the plays that are being called for him at times that don't have no rhyme or reason and don't fit his ability and don't give him the opportunity to maximize. And it is a different system. Like it really is a different type of system. Now, there are some short throws that he should have made and stuff like that. I say all that to say I want Luke Getsy gone more than anything because I am having more of a conversation as to are they putting Justin in the right position than not. And I don't think that should be the thing. Matt Eberflus, to me, I think is actually doing what he should be doing to some degree. Like you lose your defensive coordinator, you step in, that role actually looks good. I can't fault him for actually taking that over and the defense turning it around. Like how do you fire that guy right away? But everything else, I don't know. Like I'm on the fence with that. And I hate that I went on this small little rant with it, but it's like, yo, like that's how weird the situation is. It's so off that you can't even pinpoint it. You can't really it's so much, and it's so much room for excuses that you can't put your finger on one particular thing. Because even if the play calling was good and the line was bad and Justin can't read it and all that stuff, it's like, who exactly do you? It's bad. It's Raiders bad. It's Raiders bad.
Nah, I don't think.
It's Raiders bad.
Nah, I don't think it's Raiders bad.
Get everybody up out of here, huh?
I don't think it's Raiders bad, bro. I think what it is to me personally, I feel like Getsy has the lead before Justin because I feel like there's more weeks where we're talking about what Getsy's calling than the throws that Justin has missed, because it's like he literally said, I'm trying to play the game the way that you guys are asking me to play the game. And the one thing, and then I'm gonna put it to you like this: every week, everybody that has went over the plays and said, "Oh, the Bears are playing bad. We don't know what Getsy's calling." Right? I ain't never hooped. You kid, you know I lean on you with some of these questions. But the one thing I do know, if we on the court and it's three people standing in the same spot.
Ain't nobody
The
getting that
same
ball.
exact spot.
Ain't nobody getting that ball. I ain't passing it to you.
Ain't nobody getting the ball.
Why is there no spacing?
It's bound
I
to
ain't
be
passing it to you.
a turnover. So literally, I mean, I get that there's like excuses that you can make, but I feel like there has been so much more bad on Getsy that it's like we can't even really evaluate Justin right now. But that's why you still got that 4th and 5th year option to to bring somebody in here that actually knows what they're doing to not only fit his skill set but fit the team as well.
You know what?
There's no reason to me why DJ Moore should not be up there with the likes of a. Now I'm not saying that he's on par with AJ Brown and Tyreek Hill, but he should be amongst those receiving leaders. No,
I mean, if Puka Nakua, or however you say his name from the Rams, is like,
exactly.
yeah,
And that's my point.
I'm gonna be honest with you though. You comparing people. First off, y'all gonna stop disrespecting Kurt Cobain like this though. Y'all just named everybody but Kurt Cobain. Hey, listen, I'm gonna just go on this little mini rant.
I'm just saying.
Care. Hey, no, Kurt Cobain is that guy. You want to know why? Stephon Diggs, one of his best seasons. Kurt Cobain's. Jordan Addison, he's a rookie. He was about to break some records. Who was his quarterback? Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, when Justin Jefferson finally got hurt, and he was like, "Hey, this Addison guy is pretty good."
Hey, listen. All I'm saying is, when you need the rock to get to you, Kurt Cobain's, baby. Anyway.
Hey, no. So I just wanted to shout out somebody. They said this earlier. I think it was Cache or Cache. I don't know how you say your name. My bad. I'm butchering it. Taylor. She said it's a lot Justin can do that Bajan can't do. The problem is when you translate to that to the OC, I believe Getsy can work with what Bajan can do, and he can't work with what Justin can do as well. Like, Justin is just too special in the areas that don't matter to him, if that makes any sense. You know, Bajan.
I get exactly what you're saying. I get you.
Yeah, Bajan is somebody that is he's in the safe zone. He's somebody that, okay, you can make the quick passes. You can make the 5-yard passes. You're accurate. You think quickly. You get the ball out much quicker than Justin Fields. Like, those are things that a person like Getsy, an OC like Getsy can work with because that's where he came from, even though Aaron Rodgers was already Aaron Rodgers. That's what he knows. He doesn't know the likes of a Lamar Jackson or a Robert Griffin III in the past, or all these other mobile type quarterbacks that can do everything that are dual threats. He doesn't work well with dual threats. That's basically what it is.
But the thing is,
the dual threat thing is a double-edged sword, because yes, we do want a QB that can use his legs and stuff like that. But I've always maintained this, and this is always going to be my biggest knock on Justin. Your role entails more than just using your wheels and trying to make home run plays. Some of the best QBs in league history were those who could read the field, be decisive, get the ball out quick, and allow their players or their playmakers the opportunity to create plays. Mm-hmm. Gronk isn't Gronk if Tom Brady doesn't get him the ball. And you can go down the list, right? So your job as a QB is to read that, put people in position, and get them the ball and allow them to make plays. Your job is not to sit there, hold that ball for 6 seconds and say, I'm going to wait to throw this 40 yards. And if that's how you all like to play football, and I'm not talking about anybody on this panel, but there's some people who like to come into these chats and say, well, the deep ball is that. This is not freaking Madden. And Super Bowl winning QBs, guess what? A lot of them have been considered captain check down for a reason. Because guess what? If that's there, you take what the defense gives you. You read it, you make an accurate pass, you get it out. So that's the one thing I will say. Sometimes Luke Getsy is catered toward a QB being a facilitator and not just this all-around ultimate playmaker. And that may be the double-edged sword for him. But I can't disagree with that logic, because I am of the ilk that, like, I like Lamar Jackson now, the passer, more than I've ever liked Lamar Jackson, the runner.
Hey,
I like Lamar Jackson, the passer.
Hold on.
Why is he a good passer now, though?
I told him, JC, because I told we had a whole argument about this.
I used to clown, brother.
I told him, I said, bro, he's not. I said that Lamar, like, as much as Lamar runs, he never takes off just because he feel like, I legit have, I'm just trying to take off to take off. like he was looking for the weapons, and now you see like once he gets the Zay Flowers and the Odells to go with the Mark Andrews, now as opposed to okay, I take off Ryan got nothing, or I'm gonna just hit Mark Andrews. He's making plays in the pocket where it's like, okay, now my ass is downfield. I can wait. Somebody's now open. I have good enough receivers that I can now go and make those plays. So I mean, it's a double-edged sword, but it's like and like now it's flipped because it's like kid, it's like JC said, my fault. It's like JC said, he's not really coaching for the things that he's good at. He's like, oh, I seen Aaron Rodgers do this, and we got to remember what it actually is, right? He didn't call the plays for Aaron. You're sitting behind LaFleur watching him call the plays for Aaron. So you got the guy to the guy. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing that out.
I love the chat because some people like the heck is he talking about? They like
Man, they
really
going crazy. That's all I've been looking at.
They're
They
riding
going
for
at
Lamar,
it.
and I want you all to know that's what keeps you coming back, baby. That's why I'm the
is.
pettiest man
That
around.
is.
Don't even worry about it. So hey, it's all by design. You just play into it every single time. Anyway, but realistically though, and this is all for good dialogue. If you are in this
Oh,
chat,
and Hackett, my fault, but yeah, and Hackett.
if you're
That's a
in this
good point,
chat
Baki.
debating anything, right, especially amongst each other, this is healthy dialogue. And guess what? It's what makes sports world go round. Because I am never going to see the world like a traditional Bears fan. Because a traditional Bears fan, to me, and in my lifetime, is accustomed to losing.
Yep, we're used to it.
You're accustomed to losing. Like
We're
we sit there and we look at other people's situations and we call people trash and this, that, and the other. But then it's like, okay, look at our situation. We haven't developed, had, or even our best QB. We didn't even draft. We didn't even develop. Jay freaking Cutler was our best QB, at least in the modern era. We didn't draft. We didn't develop him. So like we're accustomed to having these like petty little things. It's like, dog, just chill because it doesn't even matter. With that being said, though, I will say this. I want to do this. We are going from one defunct team to another. You all know what's happening. My man Stefan Haddad already called this game. I'm gonna turn my Bulls hat around. The heck is going on with the Bulls, man? Listen, I've never seen more trade talks and people being moved than before. Look, Zach LaVine is rumored to be a really, really good trade piece for the Miami freaking Heat.
I didn't see that part.
I saw that today.
I saw the Sixers.
Adam,
Even the Sixers, though, it's like at this point, are we like really packing this up? Are we done here? Like, what's happening?
No, we ain't
right
done.
now?
I mean, what are we? Only 2-3 into the season, and I do want to admit one thing, and I'm gonna say this once, and I'm gonna say this one time only, PK. So open your ears up good. Make sure you record this.
Trash.
Okay, so you know where I'm going, because I've been defending this dude for the last 35 years, and he has done nothing. I've seen stat lines where the man puts up only 1 rebound, 3 assists, and no points in 25 minutes. I'm done defending him. Patrick Williams needs to be gone. He needs to be sold or traded for a hot Cheeto bag. Because at this point, you need to start Torrey Craig. But outside of that, yeah, the Bulls have been in chaos. They've been in disarray.
Nope, I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold your
feet me to what?
Fire. You said no, PK. P. Will's a good player. He's just doesn't have the opportunity. He's just behind DeMar DeRozan. Oh, don't say I'm bringing up old stuff. I'm bringing up stuff. Y'all know what's the funny thing is? Y'all called me a hater until P. Will said he wanted to get $200 million a year.
Who called?
The moment that man sat there and said. The moment that man sat there and said, I think I'm worth $200 million. I mean, not a year, but he won a $200 million contract or whatever his contract number is. It's astronomically high for what he's giving us. Y'all was like, that dude crazy. And I was like, y'all was crazy in the first place because he ain't that good. Now, here's the thing. He'll beat me any day. He'll beat anybody on this live any day. The man's like, what, 6'7", 6'9"? Like, of course. He go to any export and dominate. But compared to his peers and everything that we get to see, guess what? Buddy ain't worth 200 million over 5. He ain't worth 150 over 5 if we had it in his back pocket in his trunk on the way to the hotel. Like, he's not. You can't convince me that he is. So all I want to say is this: for all you people in the chat that called me a hater, I just want y'all to understand, I'm on y'all tail all freaking year. That man's going to have the breakout season of breakout seasons if I am going to turn around and not be on y'all tail every time we talk about the Bulls.
Hey, I just
y'all
want
was
to
trash for that.
I want to shout out
Super
Jaylon real
trash.
quick. Jaylon, you correct. I overvalued him. I shouldn't trade him for a hot bag of chips. I'm gonna trade him for an empty hot bag of chips. You know, if I start eating them and I give them to you, be like, "You want some?" And then it's like the crumbs at the bottom. Yeah, that's his value. You're absolutely right.
See, you misplacing it though.
What?
He got to be traded for a wet Cheeto. You know how the baby. You feel me? You know how the baby. You know how they eating on the Cheeto. Then they be like, "Can I get some?"
Oh,
And they got
nasty.
the fresh Cheeto on one end and the wet Cheeto on the other, but they wind up giving you the wet.
That's
what you need to be going for.
He's not that bad.
That's what you need to be going for. But nah,
I just want to say this though. You know what you just said, Steph. I'm gonna leave you on the camera for that. You said start Torrey Craig.
Yeah, I did.
How much is Torrey Craig worth? 200 Skittles? Is he worth 200 pesos? Is he worth 200 million over 5? I just want to know, because acquiring minds want to know if Torrey Craig is playing better. Is Torrey Craig worth the money P. Will is asking for? Because if Torrey Craig ain't worth it, I just want y'all to know y'all didn't flip on P. Will until that man asked for money. That's all I want you to know.
Hey, I just so like now with me calling the games, especially last night. This is a 500 team. And I've been at a mindset. I dropped a video on this. I said if this team was gonna be 500 at the All-Star break or lower, they had to be done. Cause even last night, right? I'm calling the game and we talking about it in the chat. The game's close. Vooch had a 2020 game. Vooch had a 2020 game last night. 21 points, 20 boards. Bro, there was a lack of focus in the fourth. DeMar and DeMar throws the pass to Kobe. Kobe's not looking for it. They're not continuously going to Vooch, even though they blew them out by 30 in the post. You can't box out. So Lively is sitting there. He had 6, 12, and 6 last night, which, bro, if you include tip outs in terms of rebounds, he might as well have 6, 20, and 12. Like, it's
but see, this is exactly what I want to say.
There's a lack of focus from this team that's continuously not showing up. And you could just tell, like, I mean, because everybody was talking about, because somebody said 25 games, Pat said 15, I said I'll give you 10. I can't even, like, P. Will 0 points. Kid, you know what we call that?
Right.
Active.
You getting real active. What's up, JC?
Hey, real quick. No, I'm gonna shout out Baki because he said exactly what I was thinking. Vooch is killing in the first 3 quarters, right? Then you go away from him in the fourth, the most pivotal quarter when the game is close. My man had a double-double. And you go away from what works. This is what we've been saying all the time, is that the Bulls get in their own way. They compete and then they don't compete. Then they compete, then they go to this me first ball with DeMar and Zach. And then when that doesn't work, then Vooch is just on the island looking like, yo, I got 20 and 21. Like, what are y'all doing? Hand me the ball, get out the way. Let me do my thing. That's the problem, is they're not consistent in the things that are actually leading to wins. They revert back to trash.
Oh, and I will say too. The triangle button is stuck, because if I see them jump on one more corner 3,
man.
Hey, bro, like I was counting it last night, bro. Like, Grant Williams pretty much hit all of his 3s from the corner. Like, Vooch and Vooch. Grant Williams, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Derrick Jones Jr. had 17 threes by themselves. I think for the game, I think they hit what, 23? Yeah, no, Nobody's telling them to stay down. Like, what are you teaching them in practice? But this goes back to like, okay, what is this built off of? What are you guys learning in practice? What is Billy doing? And I just think these mugs are tired because yesterday, bro, there was a lack of focus from this team clearly. And I feel like you're just gonna be talking about a team that's up and down all season. So you gotta get like you're gonna have to get the best package for these guys. Like seriously.
I'll be honest with you. One of the things I saw is adjustments. So I watched that game and I'm like, hey, Vooch had a good game. That means they were targeting him. They went with that. And one of the things I've always clowned Billy for is he doesn't go with the clear mismatch. Well, no, everyone knows that right now, Mavs still a little weak when it comes to big man presence.
I like Lively though. Lively is a 7-footer they should have got. That
Yeah.
Lively is good, but they still need another big.
He is. He's a rookie. I believe he's a rookie, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, he's a rookie.
he's a rookie. They're
He's a
4-0 right now.
So but he's learning, right?
Yeah.
So when you have a situation like that, that's your mismatch. I got a rookie big. Guess what? I'm gonna go to Vooch, and that's what they kind of did. That's how it worked out. And Vooch was able to get off. Here's what tends to happen though. The other team does adjust. If we see Vooch going off, they see Vooch going off. And now a good coaching on their end is how do we get the ball out of that player's hand?
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at them necessarily doing that because once you actually start to focus on Vooch and you take away good entry passes or you make it harder once he puts the ball on the floor, it ain't like he Joel Embiid. So I get why some of the things start to go away from him because now it's like, hey, you're going to be easier to contain than if I get the rest of these players involved. So from a coaching standpoint, I understand it and I'm kind of with it. What I'm not with is, again, we did a whole nother offseason. We bet on continuity. But you know, the last team that AK did that bet on continuity, they didn't have a problem with point guard play because they practically had two on the floor. Jokic is a freaking center point guard, whatever. That dude can get it done, right? But they also had Jamal Murray, who is a point guard. He's a scoring guard, but he's a point guard. Like he can facilitate and do things that I think you try to mirror with Kobe White, but Kobe White is not a point guard. Yeah. And it's okay for him not to be a point guard. It's just a different skill set. Doesn't make Kobe weak. Now, I will say this. I'm not going to back down on my take that Kobe is not it or the answer because if you're going to use him at point guard, that's not the answer. He's not a point guard. And what we're missing right now is a clear point guard and a real veteran to calm things down and put people in position. And I just want people to understand this. Didn't the game look a lot easier with Patrick Beverley?
Yeah.
I mean, that
why did it look better?
That's true.
People hated my take for Beverley last year. They thought that I was crazy when I said he will come in and actually make a difference because of his mentality, his IQ, and what he can train these young players to do. It's not just about the numbers. Of course, Patrick is not a world killer when it comes to his points, but you need that kind of person that's going to come in and calm the team, get these young players in a position where they can be the most successful. And you saw that. You even saw Kobe take a step forward. You saw Patrick take a step forward at the end of last year. And so, yeah, there's something to be said. Now, can Javon fill that role? At this point, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little surprised that he's not playing a little bit better than I thought he would.
So I don't think Javon can fill that role. But no.
He was never going to do that.
I thought he was. I ain't going to lie.
He was never going to be that guy.
This is what he got smoked from. Nah, but this is what I will say, though. And to your point, though, because the one thing I said is this even last year, right? I said Patrick Beverley was gonna have the effect that Jimmy basically had on the run, like in the bubble run when the Heat went to the finals. He was like, "Hey, I don't need y'all to do nothing that y'all know y'all don't do." Meaning, like, hey, if you shoot the ball, just shoot the ball.
Shoot the ball.
Like, when he first got here, his main thing is that if I even see you think about dribbling the pass, I'm finna. We finna be boxing. All he had to do was go score. But he gave him that confidence. It's literally like, I mean, even the last two nights, The one game I watched, I seen the Spurs game. Devin Vassell is like head and shoulders over P. Will right now. And then last night, I'm looking at Cam Reddish, but you see LeBron talking to him like, hey, these are the things that you can do. He's telling him where to go, and he's giving him positive feedback, and you can see that now translating on the court.
Dog.
To the point where it's like, okay, now when I need this dude to step up, he's capable of stepping up in those. He's capable of stepping up in those moments. And right now, the Bulls don't got that. You were talking about JT was talking about the IQ thing. I just think it's more so on like, yo, this is accountability. I don't need y'all to do nothing that y'all know y'all really not that great at. Just if Zach is a scorer, bro, go score. If we need to get the ball down low to Vooch in the post, do that. It was the same thing with Vooch. He was getting on Vooch for defensive assignments last season. There's no accountability on this team, but yeah, everybody else goes. And yeah, they're good. They're good players. Like they can score. But when I need y'all to come together as a collective in those late game moments like last night, because Luka really didn't have a great game. The Bulls still could have won that game. When I need
Kyrie didn't even play.
Huh?
Kyrie didn't even play.
I mean, yeah, Kyrie didn't even play. But it just goes to show the reason why I'm saying that they gotta blow it up. When I need you guys to come together as a collective unit in those last 5 minutes, now you guys are already showing me that you can't do that.
But this is also why
and that just is what it is right now.
Yeah, but this is also why I say it goes back to making sure you have a good floor general, someone who's literally dedicated to making plays for others. And this is my hot take. I know it's not going to happen. This is my wish. This is my wish for the Chicago Bulls. I do believe that Zach and DeMar are focused on the same thing. DeMar's made his money at ISO, one-on-one, back to the basket, fade, doing stuff like that. I'm not saying he can't make plays for others, but that's what you know him for. Zach LaVine is making his money doing what? We know Zach LaVine for being somewhat of a player, but we really know him for being able to score,
step backs,
slashing, stuff like
that.
Who is our definitive get everyone else involved playmaker?
Lonzo Ball, he's hurt.
You don't got. But
we don't have.
But see, that's the thing.
If Lonzo was healthy now, we can't use. I don't believe we can use him because of the exception we took. Like we can't. He can't even come back.
Yeah.
Like if he pulled an Aaron Rodgers right now, he can't step on the court. Right. So that's wild, right? So like we don't
know if that's gonna work yet.
Here's the one player because James Harden is done. Like he got traded to the Clippers. They're gonna make a run. The Clippers have up their stock in the Western Conference. You don't have to like James Harden, but you have to respect the fact that he was a league leader in assists. You got to respect it.
I don't see it.
I'm not on that train.
James Harden is gonna fit well with the Clippers. He really is.
No, but this is the thing. Just real quick, Russ, they already had everything.
We on the same page. I think you should make a move for Russell Westbrook. Let's be fair. Let's be real fair about something. When you let Russ be Russ does something that no one else on our team does.
Bro, I'm a huge Russ fan.
Everybody else involved. He does have some boneheaded plays. However, especially if you looked at that last game last night, it was kind of sad to see him kind of relegated to that role. They Ben Simmons that man.
There's not enough balls for him and James to go around.
I don't think that they updated.
They gave that man room to shoot. They said, "Oh, you got the ball."
Yep. Take it.
Go back and look at it. LeBron disrespected that man so much. But you know what I do like about Russ? He can get the ball in motion. He knows when to attack the paint. He works well with the big. Paul George's best year, one of the best years, was with Russ. I mean, Pat has gone on long tangents about why you would want a Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Russell Westbrook is going to work on the Clippers with James Harden.
Hey, kid, just to add.
I don't think that's going to work.
Just to add to that take, though, right? If you go look at it, hey, you know who got the best plus minus starting five in the league?
Who?
Clippers. Russ, Kawhi, and PG. Number one in terms of plus minus when they on the floor together.
You got 2 point
Yeah.
guards. James Harden is going to
Hey.
do and needs to do exactly
But-
what Russ does. I don't care what nobody says. That's just
Yeah.
what he's been relegated to. Now he could play the 2 guard. PG could be the 4-3. Kawhi could be the 4. I do kind of see a lineup in which that happens, but it's only one ball that goes around for everybody. If you need Russ to be Russ, you kind of need James Harden to be somebody he ain't been in 5-6 years. James Harden ain't been that James Harden since like 2019.
What, the playoff ball? He's never done that.
He's not been that guy. So like if you want to make some moves and you want to like Russell Westbrook is probably that type of player you need. Now that's just a harebrained thing, but I know it's 7:00. Y'all been with us for an hour. Listen, I appreciate y'all. It is one of the things of being a Chicago fan that just sucks. We have 2 defunct teams that we're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. We got people that want to get paid that don't deserve it. Hold on, wait. We got people that want to get paid that don't deserve it. We got people that think they worth $200 million that can't score more than 5 points.
Hey, Patrick Williams was on that Danny Dimes. He was like, hey,
listen, we got a QB who needs to be QB1, but not really QB1, and a rookie who's coming out of nowhere who everybody likes that nobody likes. So like we defunct, we firing people, we firing the wrong people. Everybody's kind of frustrated. Both teams are in disarray. So if you've been sticking around this long, hey, guess what? We appreciate you all because without you all,
thank you.
Without you all, this doesn't happen. But that's going to do it for us today, man. I appreciate everyone for sticking in. All the P1s that's been in here with us. All the wild takes and stuff like that. You know what it is. You know what we do. My man Stefan the Dime right here. Live calling everything like that, getting it done. My man in the orange room right here. I love it. By the way, hey, he is like the designated. All the Bears facts need to come through him. He needs to just have his own graphic.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Oval Office of Bear Facts right there. You all know who I am. I'm not important. But again, we appreciate you all. Till next time.